Hi everyone, welcome to Olùkọ́ of Defi channel. If you've not gone through any video in the channel before, the channel is for newbies on DeFi, where we break down the concepts of DeFi and Web3 in general to understandable bits for newbies to understand, because the concept of DeFi might be a bit bogus for some people. To understand the concept is a bit hard. So, but the thing is, I will try my best to be breaking down every concept of DeFi into understandable and trying to compare it to our day-to-day activities so that it will be very understandable for us. So, on today's video, what we'll do in today's video is asking questions. Like my cameraman will be asking me questions that newbies will probably ask when starting out. So I will try and break it down and explain it in understandable terms so that you know what to expect if you are going into DeFi. So first and foremost, let's even start with DeFi. Like, I know a lot of people hear about DeFi, Web3 and stuff, but you don't really know what the meaning of DeFi is. So if we are talking about DeFi is actually, the full meaning of DeFi is actually decentralized finance. But if you know, there are two things it comprises of two words: decentralization and finance. So we know decentralization. If we are talking about decentralization, it's like giving the power to the people. You know, that kind of thing. Decentralization, that means it's not centralized, it's not dependent on a body. Like, no external body is controlling the work, as in the day-to-day activity of an organization. If we're saying centralized, if something is centralized, it means that there are some extra entities that are controlling the transactions and everything going on in that organization. But a decentralized organization does not have any middleman. There's no middleman. Like, if you say something is decentralized, it's just the buyer, seller, no intermediary between them. Everything is just from the sender to the receiver. So that's just decentralization. Finance, we all know finance. Finance deals with anything, money and stuff like that. So decentralized finance, DeFi now, is like a concept, like a branch of cryptocurrency that deals with, cryptocurrency is mainly about Bitcoin is mainly a source of payment, just a source of payment, just to make transaction from one person to another, just making payment. But DeFi is actually more complex and more deep than cryptocurrency, because DeFi works on the concept of what's this one? Smart contracts. So smart contracts now is based on Ethereum. Like, Ethereum is the first chain that actually introduced smart contracts. So that's why they say Ethereum is the father of DeFi. So now Ethereum now, it's trying to make it possible for us to integrate cryptocurrency into other aspects of life other than day-to-day transaction, other than mode of payment rather. So now that concept now is now what brought about DeFi, because DeFi has a lot of sectors. There is lending and borrowing. There is decentralized exchanges. You all know centralized exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, Bybit, Bitget, and Co. Those ones are actually centralized because they have people governing and controlling the day-to-day, the transactions there. But decentralized exchanges, if we say decentralized exchange, it means exchanges that are not centralized, are not controlled by anybody. They are only controlled by a set of codes that are called smart contracts. So that code now is what controls all the activities on a decentralized exchange. So now that also is a part of DeFi. There's also yield earning. That one is like when you put your money into something and it yield interest for you. But now the interest now is autonomous. It's not like bank that you can just put your money and they will say, okay, so percentage, and they might just come up with one event, say something happened now that maybe the percentage will come down or stuff like that. But in a yield, sorry, in a yield, DeFi now, that yielding now doesn't change because the smart contracts, the code that they've already put in will be there. So the interest that your money will yield for you will be the same, so long as your money is still there. You'll be collecting your money. There's lending and borrowing. There's gamblify. Actually, yeah, they are gambling in DeFi now. If you know, uh, there's gamblify. As I was saying, gamblify now, we know during the time of Donald Trump and the voting, there is actually a platform that you can bet whether who would win the the election rather. So, and there's also DAOs. The concept of DeFi is actually a broad concept. If I say I want to start talking about it, I might start confusing you guys and stuff like that. So I'm just going to like let my cameraman do the question so that I won't be saying things that are too, you know, big for newbies to understand. At least he is a newbie, so he knows and understands what a newbie, like, he knows how newbie feels. So anything he asks, I will make sure that I explain it in the most understandable way possible. So let's start.
Okay, good. So the very first part of the file I would like you to explain to us is the tap to earn, the Telegram tap to earn that everyone is actually doing right now. Talk on that, please. Thank you.
Okay. You see, the concept of tap to earn, yeah, it's very interesting one actually, because Telegram, you all know that Telegram also just started their own crypto network, Ton. And I know it's really gaining traction due to people that are tap to earn and stuff like that. But the concept of tap to earn, I would say is just like a way of like bringing in people, like a way of onboarding people into the Web3 space. That's just what this tap to earn now is, a way of onboarding people. And I'm very sure if you're into tap to earn, you already know what airdrops are. Airdrops is like a way of, making a token known, a new project. If a new project comes on board now and they want people to be aware of their projects and their token, they do something that we call airdrops. So they give it to people that are maybe like their early contributors, early communities. They'll give the airdrops to them so that they'll be able to, the thing will be, the token will be known. It's just like all these let's say all these big designers that we have, all these big fine fashion brands that we have. Most of them, when they are, maybe they create a new brand or a new design, for for them to, like, for people to know that they have that kind of design, they used to do this thing. They will, then they will find all these big celebrities that they will give the things to for free, so that they can wear it for them, so that people will be seeing it on them and be like, oh, like, we all know when Ashlocks just come was the video they used. Like, people now started seeing it on the video and be like, oh, I want to wear it too. So that's just like I can say that's like the most understandable way to explain how airdrop works. So that's how now for the tap now, it's just like a way of generating volume or generating engagement for a project. So now, if they promise people, with a promised reward at the end of the day, they promise you they will reward you. Now they need people to actually engage on their project, so as to drag in or attract in investors. Because if there's no engagement in the project, there might be like there's no possible future for the project. But if there are much engagement on the project, they will be able to attract in Like they will be able to attract in investors that will now put money into their project. So it's now part of the money now, they'll now use it to, compensate people that start with them and that have been with them for doing that time that they just start. So I would say that that's just the most basic way to explain all these tap concepts. Well, we all know that some of them actually um, pays people good and some did not. So it's just like it's a game of chance. If you are also in a business now and you see that it does not later yield profit, you drop it. So I feel like I have explained the concept well enough for anyone to just understand how the thing works. So have I answered your question like that?
Yes, you have. You have. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So